People were screaming, people were crying, they didn't know what they were scared for their life. I can't put it any more than that. They thought they were going to die.
Passengers returning from a recent Saga cruise are describing the scenes on board as petrifying, with medics having to resuscitate passengers, broken bones, 30+ foot waves overtaking the ship. This might be a lot worse than the cruise line initially told us. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. It's your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Once again, welcome on board Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. We're getting closer and closer to Miami, Florida. While we're getting started today, I've got a question of the day for you. When you've cruised, have you ever experienced any weather that's caused a problem on your cruise? Let me know about it in the comments down below. Now let's get back into the cruise news. I want to turn your attention to a story that we talked about yesterday. The Saga Spirit of Discovery ran into trouble in the Bay of Biscay a few days ago when a massive storm overtook the vessel with 50-mile-plus-hour winds, 30+ foot seas. And well, the cruise line put out some PR, which may turn out to have just been spin. In yesterday's reporting, I reported of around 100 passengers receiving minor injuries and about 5 receiving major injuries. However, now that the dust is settling, photos and videos are emerging and accounts are, well, they're being accounted for online, and it seems like the passengers on board the Spirit of Discovery have a much different tale to tell than Saga Cruise Line. And well, just reading through some of these articles, it sounds like more than 150 individuals were actually injured in this. Now, keep in mind, this was a $20,000 cabin to get on board this ship, approximately, from the reporting that I've seen. And we have heard stories now coming out of smashed glass all over. You can just see in this video the waves lapping up to the 3rd, 4th, 5th deck of this cruise ship, and it was dead in the water for 18 hours. Now, passengers on board are recounting that the captain was making announcements and even his voice sounded terrified. They saw crew members sobbing in tears just at the whole situation. One of the ship's restaurants had to be turned into a makeshift medical triage facility, with one passenger there saying she actually saw someone needing resuscitation, life-saving resuscitation on board as a result of what was going on. Passengers are describing the fact they were confined to their cabins for nearly 2 days. Now, Saga Cruise Line maintains that they have no control over Mother Nature and the passengers were safe at all times on board this ship. But take a look at some of these photos coming out. You see smashed glass on balconies, the library with books strewn about, and perhaps this is the most telling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emergency ambulances there to greet the Spirit of Discovery when she arrived back in the UK. Look here, this is a cabin. You can see chairs, belongings strewn about. Passengers on board this ship, they have no idea what compensation they're going to receive from the cruise line. For their part, Saga Cruises did send out a memo informing passengers who sailed on this terror cruise, as I think we're going to need to call it from now on, that within about a week, the cruise line will be reaching out individually and offering compensation offerings. But, you know, stories like this of people laying in their beds, writing their final wishes to their family on their phones, penning out notes, laying fully clothed in life jackets, waiting for the worst to happen. I'm not trying to sensationalize this story. This is the accounts that I'm reading from passengers online about what happened on the Spirit of Discovery in the Bay of Biscay. Was the cruise line at fault? Was the weather at fault? You know, all of this is going to be shaking out, and something tells me it's going to be playing out in the courts over the next couple of years as well. This is a story we're going to be watching very closely, because situations like this, well, they can't happen on cruise ships. This is something that should never have happened, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below this video. Have you ever experienced anything weather-related on a cruise ship that caused you to be injured or to fear for your very safety on the ship? What a scary ordeal, and I imagine we're only going to see more pictures and video coming out from the Saga Spirit of Discovery. Hey, if you made it this far into today's episode, you like content like this, why don't you join the 21,000 other Midships family members here by subscribing to the channel here. While you're down there subscribing, do me a favor, slam that thumbs up button to tell the YouTube algorithm this is a good video. Other cruisers should see it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until tomorrow, we'll see ya on the Midships.